The halls of Hillman College once echoed with laughter, wisdom, and the vibrant energy of beloved characters who touched millions of hearts. Yet behind the groundbreaking NBC sitcom that redefined Black excellence on television lies a heartbreaking reality. 10 talented actors who brought these unforgettable characters to life have tragically passed away. From main cast members to memorable guest stars, their deaths remind us that even the brightest stars can fade too soon, leaving fans to mourn not just fictional characters, but the real people who made them immortal. Rosalind Cash, Dean Hughes. Rosalind Cash brought a commanding presence to A Different World as Dean Hughes, appearing in just 4 episodes but leaving an unforgettable mark on the show. Her character was the intimidating dean who demanded respect and excellence from Hillman College students, and Cash's powerful stage background made her perfect for the role that required both authority and gravitas. Born on December 31, 1938, in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Cash grew up in a working-class family where her father worked as a clerk and her mother kept the household together. She graduated with honors from Atlantic City High School in 1956 and went on to study at City College of New York, where she discovered her passion for acting and performance. Cash became one of the founding members of the Negro Ensemble Company in 1968, a groundbreaking theater group that gave Black actors opportunities to perform in serious, non-stereotypical roles. Her most celebrated stage performance came in 1973 when she played Goneril in Shakespeare's King Lear, opposite James Earl Jones at the New York Shakespeare Festival, proving her ability to handle the most challenging classical material. In film, Cash is best remembered for her role as Lisa in the 1971 science fiction movie The Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston, where she played the female lead in what was then a rare interracial romance on screen. Throughout her career, she was very careful about the roles she accepted, once saying, "I'm not good at playing stereotypes," and refusing to take parts that would diminish her dignity, or that of Black women in general. Cash was diagnosed with cancer in the mid-1990s, while still actively working, including her recurring role as Mary May Ward on the soap opera General Hospital. She died from cancer on October 31, 1995, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles at the age of 56. Rosalind Cash's legacy lives on through her commitment to portraying strong, complex Black women on stage and screen, paving the way for future generations of actresses who would benefit from the doors she helped open through her talent and principles. Ted Ross, Dean Harris. Ted Ross played Dean Harris on A Different World, a character who actually appeared first on The Cosby Show in the episode that introduced Hillman College to viewers. Though his time on the spin-off show was brief, appearing mainly in the pilot and a few early episodes, Ross brought dignity and academic authority to the role of the college administrator who helped set the tone for what Hillman College represented as an institution of higher learning. Born Theodore Ross Roberts on June 30, 1934, in Zanesville, Ohio, Ross moved to Dayton with his family when he was 7 years old. His mother, Elizabeth Russell, was a nightclub singer in the 1920s and 1930s, which exposed young Ted to the world of entertainment early in his life. As a teenager, he would sneak into clubs on West 5th Street to watch great performers like Duke Ellington, but his nightclub adventures weren't popular at home, leading him to drop out of high school in 1950 and enlist in the United States Air Force. The turning point in Ross's life came during a military furlough in 1952 when he entered an amateur night contest at a local bar and sang Judy Garland's Over the Rainbow, winning $5 and discovering his true calling as a performer. After leaving the military, he worked his way from Montana to Los Angeles as a singer and master of ceremonies before landing his first stage role in the musical Big Time Buck White. Ross became a Broadway legend when he won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical in 1975 for playing the Cowardly Lion in The Wiz, the all-black reinterpretation of The Wizard of Oz. He recreated this iconic role in the 1978 film version alongside Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, and Richard Pryor, cementing his place in entertainment history. In movies, he's also fondly remembered as Bitterman, the long-suffering chauffeur in the 1981 comedy Arthur, starring Dudley Moore. Ross suffered a stroke in 1998 and spent his final years back in his hometown of Dayton, where he opened a jazz club called Your Place. He died from complications related to his earlier stroke on September 3, 2002, at the age of 68. Ted Ross left behind a legacy of breaking barriers on Broadway and bringing joy to audiences through his memorable performances in both serious and comedic roles. Ron O'Neal, Isidore Smalls. Ron O'Neal appeared on A Different World as Isidore Smalls, bringing his commanding screen presence to the show during its run. While his role on the series was smaller compared to his other famous work, O'Neal's appearance added gravitas and star power to the show, as he was already well known to audiences from his groundbreaking film career that had made him a household name in the 1970s. Born Ronald O'Neal on September 1, 1937, in Utica, New York, he discovered his passion for acting early and pursued formal training to hone his craft. O'Neal began his career on Broadway, where he developed the strong stage presence and dramatic skills that would later serve him well in both television and film roles. His theater background gave him a solid foundation in acting technique that helped him transition successfully between different types of performances throughout his career. O'Neal became a major star in 1972 when he played Youngblood Priest in the blaxploitation film Superfly, a role that made him an icon of the genre and one of the most recognizable faces in black cinema of the era. The character of Priest, a cocaine dealer trying to escape the drug trade, became a cultural phenomenon, and O'Neal's cool, charismatic performance helped define the blaxploitation movement. He was so identified with the role that he not only starred in the sequel Superfly TNT in 1973, but also wrote and directed it, showing his talents extended beyond acting. Beyond his most famous role, O'Neal continued working steadily in both films and television throughout the 1980s and 1990s, appearing in various projects that showcased his range as a performer. He maintained an active presence in theater as well, never abandoning his stage roots and earning recognition for his work in both on- and off-Broadway productions where he could demonstrate his dramatic abilities in live performance. O'Neal battled pancreatic cancer for 4 years before losing his fight with the disease on January 14, 2004, in Los Angeles at the age of 66. The cancer had been a long and difficult struggle, but he continued working when possible during his illness. Ron O'Neal's legacy remains strong in film history, particularly for his role in helping to define an entire genre of cinema that gave black actors opportunities to play complex leading roles during a crucial period in entertainment. Lena Horne appeared as herself on A Different World in the appropriately titled Season 6 episode A Rock, a River, a Lena, where she visited Hillman College and formed a special friendship with Vernon Gaines, the grumpy restaurant owner played by Lou Myers. Her appearance on the show was particularly meaningful because it brought a living legend to the fictional campus, showing students and viewers alike the connection between past and present generations of black entertainers and the importance of honoring those who paved the way. Born Lena Mary Calhoun Horne on June 30, 1917, in Brooklyn, New York, she began her entertainment career as a teenager when she joined the chorus line at the famous Cotton Club in Harlem in 1933. Even though the Cotton Club had a whites-only audience policy, it featured black performers, and working there gave young Lena valuable experience and exposure to the entertainment industry. Her striking beauty and exceptional singing voice quickly caught the attention of talent scouts and music industry professionals. Goldwyn Mayer in 1942, though the film industry's racial restrictions meant she often appeared in musical numbers that could be easily edited out for Southern theaters. Despite these limitations, she appeared in notable films like Cabin in the Sky and Stormy Weather, where she performed the title song that became one of her signature pieces. Her refusal to accept stereotypical roles often limited her film opportunities, but she maintained her dignity and principles throughout her career. Beyond movies, Horn became a celebrated nightclub and recording artist, known for her sophisticated style and powerful voice that could handle both jazz standards and popular songs with equal skill. She was also a committed civil rights activist who used her fame to support the movement, refusing to perform for segregated audiences and participating in the 1963 March on Washington alongside other prominent entertainers. Horn continued performing well into her later years, earning new generations of fans through her one-woman Broadway show, Lena Horne, The Lady and Her Music, in 1981, which ran for more than 300 performances and earned her numerous awards. She died peacefully of heart failure on May 9, 2010, at New York Presbyterian Hospital at the age of 92, having lived to see many of the barriers she fought against finally broken down. Heavy D, guest performer. Heavy D appeared on A Different World in the Season 3 episode Delusions of Daddyhood as Dwayne Wayne's chosen performer in a benefit concert booking contest, bringing his real-life star, power, and charismatic personality to the fictional Hillman College campus. His appearance on the show was significant because it showcased how the series connected with contemporary hip-hop culture and brought actual music stars into storylines that felt authentic to the college experience of the late 1980s and early 1990s. Born Dwight Arrington Myers on May 24, 1967, in Mandeville, Jamaica, he moved to Mount Vernon, New York, with his family when he was young, where he grew up immersed in the emerging hip-hop culture of the New York area. He formed the group Heavy D and the Boys in the mid-1880s with high school friends, and their positive, upbeat style of rap music stood out from the harder-edged hip-hop that was becoming popular at the time. The group's focus on fun, danceable tracks and Heavy D's charismatic, larger-than-life personality made them perfect for mainstream success. Heavy D and the Boys became one of the most successful rap groups of the late 1980s and early 1990s, with hit albums like Big Time and Peaceful Journey that produced popular singles such as The Overweight Lovers in the House and Now That We Found Love. Heavy D's smooth delivery and positive message appealed to both hip-hop fans and mainstream audiences, making him one of the first rap artists to achieve significant crossover success on radio and television. Beyond music, Heavy D became a familiar face on television and in films, appearing in movies like Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and taking on acting roles that showcased his natural comedic timing and screen presence. He also became president of Uptown Records, where he helped develop the careers of artists like Mary J. Blige and Jodeci, proving his talents extended beyond performing to music industry leadership. On November 8, 2011, Heavy D collapsed outside his home in Beverly Hills, California, and was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he died later that day from a pulmonary embolism at the age of 44. The sudden nature of his death shocked fans and the entertainment industry alike. Heavy D's legacy lives on through his positive influence on hip-hop culture and his role in proving that rap music could be both commercially successful and uplifting. Lou Myers, Vernon Gaines. Lou Myers became one of the most beloved characters on A Different World as Vernon Gaines, the grumpy owner of The Pit, Hillman College's campus restaurant where students gathered to eat, study, and socialize. Appearing in 88 episodes across multiple seasons starting in Season 2, Myers brought depth and heart to what could have been a simple comic relief character, showing that beneath Vernon's tough exterior was a man who genuinely cared about the students and served as an unofficial mentor to many of them throughout the series. Born in Chesapeake, West Virginia, Myers was the son of a coal miner from Cabin Creek and grew up understanding the value of hard work and determination. After attending West Virginia State University, he moved to New York City to pursue his dreams in theater, where he got his first major break as an understudy in the Broadway production The First Breeze of Summer in 1975. This opportunity opened doors for him in the New York theater scene and established his reputation as a serious stage actor. Myers became deeply involved in the work of playwright August Wilson, appearing as an original cast member in several of Wilson's groundbreaking plays that explored the African-American experience throughout different decades of the 20th century. His work in productions like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom showcased his ability to bring complex, fully realized characters to life on stage, and his collaborations with Wilson became some of the most important work of his career in legitimate theater. After A Different World ended, Myers continued working in both television and film, appearing in romantic comedies like Tin Cup with Kevin Costner, How Stella Got Her Groove Back with Angela Bassett, and The Wedding Planner with Jennifer Lopez. These roles allowed him to show his range as an actor and proved that his appeal extended beyond the character that had made him famous to television audiences. Myers had been battling pneumonia for several months before his condition worsened, and he died from complications related to the illness on February 24, 2013, at Charleston Area Medical Center in his home state of West Virginia at the age of 77. He was surrounded by family members, including his son, Melvin, and two grandsons, Braden and Christian. Lou Myers left behind a legacy of bringing warmth and humanity to every role he played, whether on stage or screen, and his portrayal of Vernon Gaines remains a highlight of A Different World for fans who remember his character's tough love approach to helping students grow up. Thomas McCall Ford, Lamar Collins. Thomas McCall Ford appeared on A Different World in the Season 2 episode The Thing About Women as Lamar Collins, the smooth-talking ex-husband of Jaleesa Vinson, who tries to win her back during a dinner date. Though Ford only appeared in this single episode, his performance was memorable enough to help launch his television career, and the role showcased his natural charisma and ability to play charming characters who weren't always as honest as they seemed on the surface. Born on September 5, 1964, in Los Angeles, California, Ford grew up in Long Beach, where his mother worked as a school secretary and his father was a pipe fitter. As a child, Ford initially wanted to become a preacher, but he discovered his passion for acting during his school years and decided to pursue performance instead. He earned an Associate of Arts degree from Long Beach City College in 1985 before transferring to the University of Southern California, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in acting, giving him solid training for his future career. Ford's appearance on A Different World in 1989 marked his first significant television role, and the positive response to his performance opened doors to other opportunities in both television and film. He appeared in Eddie Murphy's Harlem Nights that same year, playing the character Tommy Smalls, before landing various television roles that gradually built his reputation in Hollywood. However, it was his role as Tommy Strawn on the hit Fox sitcom Martin from 1992 to 1997 that made him a household name and established him as one of the most recognizable faces in 1990s television comedy. On Martin, Ford played the straight man to Martin Lawrence's wild antics, and his character Tommy became famous for his mysterious job that no one on the show could ever figure out, leading to running jokes about what Tommy actually did for a living. Ford's performance earned him an NAACP Image Award nomination in 1996 for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, and he continued working steadily in television and film after Martin ended. After Martin, Ford was admitted to a hospital in Atlanta after suffering a ruptured abdominal aneurysm and was placed on life support, but his condition did not improve. He died on October 12, 2016, at the age of 52, surrounded by family and close friends who had gathered to say their goodbyes. Thomas McCall Ford's legacy lives on through his memorable television performances and his commitment to bringing laughter and joy to audiences who grew up watching him on their screens. Robert Guillaume, Dean Winston, Professor Murphy. Robert Guillaume appeared on A Different World in 3 episodes, playing 2 different characters, Dean Winston and Professor Murphy, showcasing his versatility as an actor who could slip into different roles within the same show's universe. His appearances brought gravitas and star power to the series, as Guillaume was already a well-established television legend by the time he guest-starred on the show, and his presence added authenticity to the academic setting of Hillman College. Born Robert Peter Williams on November 30, 1927, in St. Louis, Missouri, Guillaume grew up in challenging circumstances and was largely raised by his grandmother after his parents separated when he was young. He discovered his love for performing while serving in the United States Army, where he participated in musical productions and realized he had both the talent and passion to pursue entertainment as a career after his military service ended. Guillaume's breakthrough role came when he was cast as Benson Dubois on the ABC soap opera Soap in 1977, playing a sharp-tongued butler who often delivered the show's funniest lines, while also serving as its moral center. The character became so popular with audiences that ABC created a spin-off series called Benson in 1979, which ran for 7 seasons and made Guillaume one of television's most recognizable faces. His portrayal of Benson earned him an Emmy Award in 1985, making him the first African-American male to win an Emmy for a lead role in a comedy series. Beyond his television success, Guillaume became internationally famous as the voice of Rafiki, the wise mandrill, in Disney's 1994 animated film The Lion King, bringing his distinctive voice and dramatic training to one of the most beloved animated characters of all time. He reprised this role in various sequels and spin-offs, introducing his voice to new generations of fans who might not have known his earlier television work. Guillaume also had a distinguished stage career, appearing in numerous Broadway productions and earning recognition for his work in both musical theater and dramatic plays that showcased his range as a classically trained performer who could handle everything from comedy to serious drama. After a long battle with prostate cancer, Guillaume died on October 24, 2017, at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 89, having lived a full life that spanned decades of entertainment and broke numerous barriers for African-American performers. Robert Guillaume's legacy includes not only his memorable performances, but also his role as a trailblazer who opened doors for future generations of Black actors in television and film. Christoph St. John, E.Z. Brooks. Christoph St. John appeared on A Different World in just 1 episode, playing E.Z. Brooks in the Season 1 episode Advise and Dissent, where he portrayed a failing student who Denise Huxtable agrees to help during finals week. Though his appearance was brief, St. John brought a natural charm and vulnerability to the role that made the character memorable, and the episode showcased his ability to connect with audiences even in a small part that lasted only 1 show. Born Christoph St. John on July 15, 1966, in New York City, he began his acting career as a child and quickly showed promise as a young performer who could handle both dramatic and comedic material with equal skill. He had already appeared on The Cosby Show in 1984, playing a different character named David James, which led to his guest spot on the spin-off series A Different World 4 years later, demonstrating how the producers recognized his talent and wanted to work with him again. After his brief appearances on both Cosby-related shows, St. John landed the role that would define his career when he was cast as Adam Marshall on the daytime drama Generations from 1989 to 1991, appearing in over 200 episodes and establishing himself as a talented soap opera actor. However, it was his next role that made him a household name and earned him widespread recognition in the entertainment industry. In 1991, St. John began playing Neil Winters on the CBS soap opera The Young and the Restless, a role he would continue for an incredible 28 years until his death in 2019, appearing in well over 1,800 episodes and becoming one of the most beloved characters in daytime television history. His portrayal of Neil, a cosmetics executive who dealt with family drama, business challenges, and personal struggles, earned him 10 NICP Image Awards and 2 Daytime Emmy Awards, proving his exceptional talent and dedication to his craft. Throughout his long run on The Young and the Restless, St. John also appeared in other projects, including roles in the miniseries Roots, The Next Generations, and various television movies that allowed him to explore different types of characters beyond his soap opera work. On February 3, 2019, St. John was found dead in his Los Angeles home at the age of 52, and an autopsy later determined that he had died from hypertrophic heart failure, a condition that affects the heart muscle and can lead to sudden cardiac death. Christoph Street John's legacy lives on through his nearly 3 decades of memorable performances that brought joy and drama to millions of daytime television viewers who followed his character's journey. Diane Carroll, Marion Gilbert. Diane Carroll played Marion Gilbert, Whitley Gilbert's sophisticated and demanding mother, appearing in 9 episodes of A Different World, starting in 1989. Her portrayal of the wealthy, well-educated Southern socialite who expected nothing but the best from her daughter brought both comedy and depth to the show, as Carroll's natural elegance and commanding presence made Marion Gilbert one of the most memorable recurring characters on the series and perfectly captured the generational tensions that often exist between parents and their college-age children. Born Carol Diane Johnson on July 17, 1935, in the Bronx, New York, Carol grew up in a family that encouraged her artistic talents from an early age. Her parents enrolled her in dance, singing, and modeling classes, and by the time she was 15, she was already modeling for Ebony magazine and competing in talent contests. She attended the High School of Music and Art in New York, where she was a classmate of future actor Billy D. Williams, and her exceptional talent was recognized early when she won a Metropolitan Opera scholarship. Carol made history in 1962 when she became the first African-American woman to win a Tony Award for Best Actress in a musical for her role as Barbara Woodruff in No Strings, breaking a significant barrier on Broadway and establishing herself as a major talent in musical theater. 6 years later, she broke another important barrier when she starred in the NBC sitcom Julia from 1968 to 1971, becoming the first Black woman to star in her own television series where she played a character who was not a domestic worker or servant. In the 1980s, Carol joined the cast of the primetime soap opera Dynasty as Dominique Devereaux, the glamorous half-sister of Blake Carrington, where her dramatic confrontations with Joan Collins's character Alexis became fan favorites and introduced her to a new generation of television viewers. She also received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in 1974 for her performance in the film Claudine, where she played a single mother trying to raise her children while navigating the welfare system. Carol was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1997, and though she initially responded well to treatment and continued working for many years, the cancer eventually returned. She died from complications related to breast cancer on October 4, 2019, at her home in Los Angeles at the age of 84, surrounded by family members who had been caring for her during her final illness. Diane Carroll's legacy as a trailblazer who opened doors for future generations of Black performers while maintaining her dignity and elegance throughout a career that spanned more than 6 decades continues to inspire artists today.